We're Derby Demolition Company, and we're here today to obviously discuss our latest project with yourselves, which is the Bromley Road office building, factory demolition works. I'm the contracts manager. I'll introduce you, but we'll run around and do introductions to the rest of the team.
My name is Ben, I'm site manager and health and safety advisor.
My name's Richard Gray, I'm assistant site manager.
I'm Simon Clark, assistant site manager.
Hello gents, Carl Jakes, I'm one of the managers.
I'm Alan Walsh, I'm the site manager.
Hello guys, my name is Simon, I'll be the site security manager.
Right, as you can see on the desk in front of you, we've done a brief programme of works just to give you an idea of the work that's being carried out. If you've got any questions or anything, just jump
There's
in.
a couple of files here as well. Details in.
Right, to kick us off, we'll start with site setup. I'll hand you over to Alan, who's going to give you a brief description of the work that's going to be carried out and just a bit around the site setup.
Right gents, my role in this project is the initial site setup. To use as a contractor's parking, we had some liaison with these offices and we've convinced the people to use this car park, and we've donated £5,000 to their Christmas party. So we're going to use this as our contractor's car park. We've come to an agreement where we'll provide them with a shuttle bus to bring them from this car park to work in the mornings, because when we make our access through here, we don't want people hanging about this car park. We've got all contractors and people coming in and out here all day. We've agreed to pay the forward. I've also spoke with the local authority, arborist, and arranged removal of this hedge to make the access into site. Where we're going to be making our site compound all up here, where all the site cabins to the north and all the storage and waste on the west of the compound. This will be a gated access through here. So we've removed the risk of any of these employees by moving them into here and shuttling them in. And that's it.
Thanks for that, Alan. That leads us nicely onto the location of cabins, which have obviously been covered by yourself. We missed that bit. Leads us on nicely to site storage, which is going to be carried out by Carl.
Thank you, Dan. Right chaps, all storage facilities around the perimeter here on these two sides of our compound. Container one, we've just got small tools, materials in there of low risk and low toxicity. Container two is COSH materials. Sorry, let me just jump back to container one. That's got an integral battery store in there for safe storage. So container two, COSH materials, products of medium to high risk and hazard. Designated fuel storage area, that's well vented, steel gated, covered over, so it is watertight. Down to the waste segregation area, which is here, that will accommodate 4 roll-on, roll-off waste containment units, so we can segregate timber. We've also got, wanting to cover a couple of categories there, we've got waste deemed never hazardous, clean bricks, glass and such. We've also got an area where items need to be assessed that may or may not be hazardous, plus recyclable materials as well on the bottom. Across the bottom here, we've got night storage for the plant that has got a bucket changing zone integrated into it. PPE, we've got a designated spot as well. These cabins here, these are doubled up, so we've got a PPE storage area which is sited above the canteen.
Thanks for that, Carl.
Okay.
Right, moving on to welfare. Obviously, it was discussed at the pre-tender meeting that it was down to yourselves to provide the welfare facilities. So we've took the obligatory there to send you, basically, or to present to you today, things we want from the welfare that you're going to be providing. So if you want to take some notes, I'll pass you over to Simon, who's going to go through our welfare requirements.
Good morning, gentlemen. The following requirements for the Bromley Road project are all to BS 6465 specification. We've got a ratio of, the requirement is 1 WC to 7 operatives. So we're looking at 5 by toilets, 4 of which will be male, 1 of which will be female. The drains, it's sold to store drainage, these will be emptied every Tuesday morning. There's a separate hand wash for each of these units. Each hand wash unit will have hot and cold running water, soap, hand towels or another means for drying, and of course toilet paper. Hand basins will be large enough for face and arm washing. There's 5 by specialist showers for decontamination purposes owing to the fact we are handling asbestos. So there are decontamination showers. These will all be in separate lockable rooms. Dispensers containing barrier cream, sanitizer, suntan lotion, moisturiser and soap will be provided. All of the above will be checked and replenished daily. There's a supply of wholesome drinking water that will be found in the canteen. Basically there's 2 by 25 litre water bottles, and there will be 2 held in reserve, but this stock will be checked every Tuesday and Friday. The canteen and restroom contains 2 by microwave ovens and 2 by kettles. There's 1 by sink with hot and cold running water for pot washing purposes. There'll be 4 tables, each with 4 by high back chairs, giving the capacity for 16 people to use this operation at any one time. Changing rooms and drying rooms. The secure storage for personal clothing that won't be worn on site, that's your incoming clothing, and then if you are an asbestos stripping or using contaminated materials, obviously these will be kept separately to your normal site wear. There will be separate male and female changing. As mentioned, we are storing protective clothing separately. There's 30 by lockers, 1 for each operative, if required for their safe storage of materials or clothing, etc. There is a first aid room. This is situated in the site office below the meeting room. It's suitably equipped and staffed with 1 by number first aider. The first aid kit is sized accordingly to accommodate all persons on site. It's date monitored and replenished as and when required. All site managers are first aid qualified. All the above rooms will be heated and ventilated as required. There's a separate requirement for the security room, which is situated at the main gate. This will have 1 by kettle, 1 by microwave and 1 by portable transient WC to be emptied weekly. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks for that, Simon. Right, moving on to traffic management. Now this, obviously, because we're coming off an A road and onto a B road, it's quite a complex thing, but we've agreed with the council that we can put signage down this route to notify people the fact that there's building work being carried out and they're being diverted. Instead of coming in through the new car park entrance, that's going to be a later project. So they're going to come in off Holt Arch Road, which is the B road. I'll hand you over now to Richard, who's going to discuss the traffic management plan.
Morning, gents.
Morning.
On average, 7 workers die each year as a result of accidents involving vehicles or mobile plant on construction sites. A further 93 are seriously injured, so this is very important. So basically, we've got here red arrows coming into the site. This is where the vehicles will go, round in a clockwise position and to the egress, so it's simple here. This is a loading and passing bay, and the green areas are the pedestrian areas, which is kept separate away from the traffic of the vehicles, and the crossings are the dotted green. So the site manager's team and the contractors are to park in the designated car park off Holt Arch Road, which is next to the offices. So this is where contractor parking will be. Reverse parking only. Only deliveries and plant vehicles to enter the site, which is here. The entrance will be gated and manned at all times. Everybody is to sign in and sign out at the entrance gate. The speed limit will be 10 miles an hour, and the direction of travel, as I've already said, is clockwise. One-way traffic for easy egress. When undertaking any manoeuvre, a banksman must be used. For visibility, all vehicles should put their hazard warning lights on. The security guard will provide instruction at the gate for the route and traffic rules. Pedestrians will be kept away from the vehicles at the entrance egress. A separate gate will be provided for the pedestrians, as I've said. All persons entering the site will need to put on their high visibility clothing, also correct PPE. Pedestrians to use the designated footpath, as I've said, in green, and not to deviate from it. There is a pedestrian crossing at the entrance gate which is clearly marked and signed here. Also as well, just to recap, as mentioned, a minibus will be provided so persons do not come into contact with the construction traffic. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Richard. Right, moving on to site security. Ivan's going to give us a brief, well, quite an in-depth look at site security and how we're going to achieve that throughout the project.
Good morning, gents.
Morning.
So my job is to make all this secure by the time which is end. And our plan is to start with to secure all that areas around the work with fences and a lot of posts. The fences will be 2.6 meter height, and the post will be around somewhere these areas like 500. We'll secure all this project with CCTV cameras, 7 days, 24 hours per week. We're going to supply to security staff, 2 men. They're going to change on every 7 hours. We will supply 1 minibus which is going to collect the worker people from that point to the inside. Just by night, we will do 6 solar tower lights just to make sure we can see everything by night. On the front side, we're going to have a 5-meter gate with lock, and on the side which is entrance for the cars and existing office, another gate, pedestrian gate. Everything is going to be with lock. We're going to have cameras on the front just to make sure everybody who's going outside and inside to recording. We're going to have locks on the containers, on the almost on everything, just to make sure everything is gonna be okay. And we're gonna surround all the demo building just to make sure any dust or concrete and stuff, no one's gonna hurt on that side because we have riverside carpeting and seating areas. So that's it.
Thanks for that,
Can
Ivan.
I ask a question?
Go on.
What made you go for a 2.6 metre haulage?
Q&A at the end, guys.
I think he said jump in.
I know he did, but he shouldn't
Oh,
have done.
okay,
He
sorry.
shouldn't have done.
Apologies. Good idea.
The requirement is 2.4, I think, but just to make sure 2.6.
The only reason I brought it up is because the sheets come in 2.4 metre sheets. So, Q&A then.
It's not your fault. It's, I should have been clear. I'll take one for the team then.
Sorry.
That's my fault.
Otherwise, it's either wait the 25 minutes.
Right, so no problem. Right, moving on then. We're on to emergency arrangements. So, as you can see from the diagram here, the emergency entrance for any emergency vehicle will come in off Holt Arch Road. They're going to have a clean access route straight through to the site, to the building site itself. Also, if they're on the right, they'll whip into the site compound. Scattered throughout the site in all the marked locations, which is all on plans that's in your pack. There's fire alarm call points and locations. These contain eye wash facilities, foam fire extinguishers and CO2 fire extinguishers. All these units have all got BGUs, so brake glass units on. They're all remote. They're all battery operated. They're all interlinked by radio. These will be monitored daily by the site management team, just to check. They've obviously got indicators and the lights on. So as soon as they're operated, the site muster point, the site with fire assembly point, is down at the contractor parking over in the corner, as indicated on the drawing. As soon as the alarm's raised, or anyone raises an alarm, make your way to the fire assembly point. Obviously, don't run. Wait there then until the fire marshal comes to carry out the site register. As soon as he's carrying out the site register, don't enter the building again until obviously it's been saved by a fire officer. We've liaised with the local authorities and they've told us 2 positions of fire hydrants, because obviously we've cut the main water supply to the building as we're carrying out the demo. So we've got a fire hydrant here, which is on Bramley Road, just in the hedge, and we've got another one at Holt Arch Road. Failing that, we have got a river to the northwest of the site that they can tap into, that they can cover from there. The first aid, obviously, which is going to be picked up in the site induction. That moves us on now to site signage, and I'll hand over back to Ivan.
Hello again. So, like everybody knows, the site signage is the most important. If we don't have site signages, no one's gonna know what's happening. So the plan is we're gonna put some signages first of all on the main roads, just so people let them know what happened around them. After that, we're gonna go on the front. We're gonna have some signage for health and safety notice, office side, security office, no access for unauthorized person and vehicles, no smoking, no phones, so, construction noise and stuff like that. So we'll put some signage around this area. Some signage like fire alarms, here will be the fire assembly point, signage for the containers, signage for fuels, gas for fire extinguisher around this area for demolition work, and around these areas outside. So signages we can put everywhere, and it's good to have the signage. Like I said, everybody knows what's happening around here. Yeah, thank you, gents.
Thanks for that, Ivan. Right, moving on to site rules. We've got Carl to discuss the site rules for this specific site.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I'll just quickly run through these for you chaps. So we do operate a CSCS site here, so registration cards must be presented upon arrival to site. We've got 5 points of PPE that we operate on here. So high visibility jacket or vest, safety boots, hard hat, gloves and goggles or glasses. Moving on to the next point, do not work on the site without site induction, and that goes for all visitors to site. That'll be presented by Ben. Ensure compliance of the 10 miles per hour speed limit in the designated car park. Please use the welfare facilities provided for comfort breaks and consumption of beverages, so no food and drink out on the site, and respect the welfare facilities and always leave them in a clean state. Smoking can only be carried out in the designated smoking area. Again, that's in the welfare compound. We also have mobile telephone area. Any phone calls have to be made in that area, just to, we don't want anybody distracted out on site. And again, that will be clearly marked up. Always use the designated pedestrian areas that, again, will all be marked up very clearly on the site map. We've also got pedestrian barriers, just to save any confusion, and they should never be tampered with. Strictly no drugs or alcohol permitted on site. And we'd like everybody to report any incidents, dangerous occurrences, seriously bodily injuries or work-related illnesses to the principal contractors immediately if anybody should come across anything. Always ensure that you've read and understood your company's RAMS, risk assessment method statements, which are specific to your given task. Always keep your working area tidy, that's another key point. Next point, always report any defective equipment, i.e. tools, barriers, scaffolding, again, to the seniors on site. Always ensure you follow all site safety signs and procedures, and if in doubt, just ask a senior member of the management team. Follow the correct lifting and handling procedures at all time. We know that's all very important. Only qualified demolition personnel allowed in the active areas of demolition. Be aware and avoid the areas on the site plan that's marked up where we've got knotweed being treated. That's barricaded off, and obviously we've got deep excavation there, so that's an area for everybody to keep away from, apart from the specialist involved. Please be conscious and respect general members of the public. We're sited right next to a park here with public footpath, and of course we've got the officers adjacent, and it's quite a busy road, so there's plenty of members of public that are knocking about. So we just want to keep noise to a minimum. And please be aware of all moving machinery and plant. I think that covers it.
Thanks for that, Carl. And it was now to Ben to discuss site induction.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Does everyone take health and safety seriously?
Yeah.
I'd like to sign on to the policy statement. I'll do it now, I'll read it after. That's the statement for the project. I'm going to go over inductions. And every Monday morning we're going to do an induction, unless it's booked by someone else, so you have a contract to come on. And that includes all you, you'd all carry out an induction as well, because you'll be working on site with us. The induction will be in the meeting room, like I say, every 9 o'clock on a Monday. Everyone on site's going to be doing them. They'll be carried out by myself. If not me, one of the site managers will take them in my place. Every morning we're going to have a daily briefing, so that'll be a briefing. So if you're on site, you will be attending that briefing, because that'll tell you all the movements of the day, any dangers, anything like that. So you all need to be in that briefing. Every week we're going to have a health and safety meeting. That will be every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So again, if you're on site that day, that's for all the managers and supervisors, so we need you all to be there. Fire alarm test. Every Monday I'm going to conduct a fire alarm test. So if you hear the fire alarm test on a Monday at 10 o'clock, probably me. If it goes on for more than 30 seconds to a minute, it's probably a fire, so get out. So on this site we do near miss. So if you see any unsafe acts or anything like that, you near miss them. You email them to me directly or submit them anonymously, and we'll deal with them. Again, at the same time, we do good behaviour, good ideas. So if you see anything good, let us know, so we can pass it on to the guys and tell them that they're doing a good job.